In which of the following bonds we may ignore the default risk? Government-issued bonds. Customer can approach Ombudsman within from the date of cause of action. Two years. The present governor of RBI as of 2021 is Shaktikanta Das. Where the officially valid document furnished by the customer does not have updated address, the customer is required to submit any one of the officially valid documents with current address within time. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Three months. What is the maximum amount of deposits acceptable in small accounts? ₹50,000. The main function of Nabad is provide credit to agriculture and rural development. Provisions of SARFAESI Act are not applicable in the case of both. Which is a payment gateway company from among the list given below? Bill Desk. Banks in India are mainly classified into categories. A. Big and small banks. B. Urban and rural banks. C. Universal and local area banks. D. Scheduled and non-scheduled banks. Scheduled and non-scheduled banks. Regional rural banks can open its branches. Only in the districts notified by the GOI. Escalation matrix is used in complaints. It is A. A tool used by regulated entities to manage the escalation process. B. Used when the complaint is of a serious nature. C. Used at by ombudsman level when he is unable to solve the issue of complaints. D. A procedure to segregate the complaints subject-wise at the receiving level. A tool used by regulated entities to manage the escalation process. Which government initiative promotes cashless transactions? Digital India Initiative. Demand deposits are those which can be withdrawn. On demand. Bank draft is issued by all of above. Which of these is a grievance redressal authority outside court system? Banking Ombudsman. Who among the following customers is not eligible for availing the benefits of Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, PMJJBY? A. Customer at the age of 16 years. B. NRI customers. C. Customer who enrolled at the age of 45 years and paying regularly now as age of 51 years. D. Customers attaining the age of 49 years. Customer at the age of 16 years. If a business correspondent does not comply with confidentiality aspects and related privacy laws, it is called A. Strategic risk. B. Compliance risk. C. Reputational risk. D. Operational risk. Compliance risk. In deposit accounts, the main relationship between bank and customer is debtor bank, creditor customer. When a money launderer introduces illegal profits, dirty money, into a financial system, it is called A. Layering, B. Integration, C. Placement, D. Conversion. Placement. Gold and silver ornaments should be kept in bank lockers. Both A and B. What is the role of Mudra under PMMY loans? Acts as a refinance agency and refinances to all banks, NBFCs, MFIs for onward lending to customers under different categories of PMMY loans as per need of the customer. Reserve Bank of India is the central bank of the country. What is the role of the Credit Information Bureau, CIBIL? To maintain credit scores and reports. ATMs, where a third party owns and operates the ATM machine, including payment of rents bills, etc., and a bank provides the connectivity with a network system and the cash, are called as ATMs. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. White label. NABFID is A. A separate supporting wing of cooperative sector, B. A development financial institution, C. A department of Union Agricultural Ministry, D. None of the above. A development financial institution. Identify the appalling attribute which is not considered desirable on the part of Bank BC while dealing with customer's complaint. Pick up argument with the complainant to understand the fact. A handheld device can typically store fingerprints of customers. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. $300. Term loans are all of the above are true. What does PMMY stand for? Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. Which scheme among these provides old age pension? APY. Loans and advances for a bank are, select the most appropriate option from among the following. Assets. Which type of account is suitable for businesses with high transaction volumes? Current account. SBI is A. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Public sector bank. What is the main purpose of a fixed deposit account? Long-term savings with higher interest. In the case of charge card, payment is made by the user. A. At one go, B. In installments, C. In installments after a grace period, D. Instantly. At one go. Bank does not provide loans for Drinking and gambling. What does NPA stand for in banking? Non-performing asset. An FDR has been issued in the name of A, and B, with the operating instructions of former or survivor A, has died. Now, B wants its premature payment. The bank will A. Refuse its payment to B, make payment C, make payment to B with the concurrence of legal heir of AD, make payment to B and legal heir of A jointly if the legal heirs of A produce succession certificate. Make payment. Fixed deposits cannot be. Transferred to third parties. RBI has stipulated a charter of customer rights which does not include A. Right to privacy, B. Right to suitability, C. Right to meet the top executives personally, D. Right to fair treatment. Right to meet the top executives personally. Mutilated notes. Can be exchanged at bank. Through his communication, a DRA should not make the debtor anxious, insecure, and threatened. In the case of bulk deposits as defined by RBI from time to time, banks can pay differential interest rates as approved by the respective bank's board. What is Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, PMSBY? Accidental insurance cover. MICA stands for Magnetic in Character Recognition. A vehicle loan is granted against the security of hypothecation of the vehicle financed. RBI stipulated a charter of customer rights which does not include A. Right to fair treatment, B. Right to meet the top executives personally, C. Right to privacy, D. Right to suitability. Right to meet the top executives personally. Which amongst the below mentioned forms of banking come under digital banking? Mobile banking. What is layering in money laundering? Second stage, where complex transactions are used to hide audit trail. Study the following characteristics and identify the one which is not a suggested attribute for building relationship with the customer. Intemperance. Commercial bills market is a part of which of the followings? Organized money market. Maintaining proper eye contact helps in observe the debtor's non-verbal behavior. Immediate Payment Service, IMPS, is managed by A. RBI, B. National Payments Corporation of India, C. Government of India, D. Clearing Corporation of India. National Payments Corporation of India. If an account holder uses ATM card and his account is debited without cash being dispensed, the debit should be reversed by the bank. A. Within a maximum of T plus 2 days. B. Within a maximum of T plus 3 days. C. Within a maximum of T plus 4 days. D. Within a maximum of T plus 5 days. Within a maximum of T plus 5 days. Interest on FDRs is compounded on quarterly basis. How many banks were in second phase of nationalization? 6. Which government scheme promotes financial literacy and education? Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Consider the following statements regarding National Optical Fiber Network. 1. It is to provide broadband connectivity to over 2 lakhs gram panchayats through optical fiber network. 2. Bharat Broadband Network Limited, BBNL, is the special purpose vehicle created as a PSU for execution of NOFN. 3. It is funded by Universal Service Obligation Fund. 4. It is under the Digital India program. Which of the above statements are correct? All are correct. Under section of ICA provides indemnity for any lawful act during the course of agency. (222) Coins are issued by Government of India. A person joining Atal Pension Yojana at the age of 18 years will contribute rupees per month to get pension of 5,000 rupees on attaining 60 years of age. A. 210B, 240C, 300D, 270. (210). The main function of Exim Bank is provide loans for foreign trade. What is the minimum amount that can be remitted through RTGS? A. 50,000 billion rupees, 1 lakh rupees. C. 2 lakh rupees. D. No minimum limit. 2 lakh rupees. M1. All of the above. What type of deposit offers interest but limited withdrawal? Fixed deposit. Credit products in a bank can be classified into fund-based and non-fund-based. Time affects the value of which of the following? Financial instruments. Payment of check can be stopped by drawer of check. Financial education of customers is useful to the banks as it results in better. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Understanding among customers of both asset and liability products. Which of the following is not a measure adopted by the government or RBI to control inflation? Financial inclusion. Under PMLA, banks are required to preserve records of transactions for at least years. 5. IMPS stands for Immediate Payment Service. What does standard asset mean? Asset with no overdue payments and not NPA. Soft skills do not include A. Technical knowledge B. Responsibility C. Communication D. Self-motivation. Technical knowledge. In accounting rules, nominal accounts are termed as expenses, losses, and gains, income. What does deposits and other services cover? Savings, current, fixed, recurring deposit, and related services. Which of the following is not a type of deposit account? Mutual fund account. Which one of the following is correct regarding the security for the overdraft facility under PMJDY? No security. An account will be treated as non-performing asset (NPA) if it remains irregular for A. 2 crop seasons in agricultural loans which have been extended for short duration crops B. 90 days in all types of agricultural loans C. 180 days in all types of indirect agricultural loan accounts D. 2 crop seasons in all types of agricultural loan. To crop seasons in agricultural loans which have been extended for short duration crops. There are several benefits of central bank digital currency CBDC, including I. Less cash circulation. 2. Financial inclusion. 3. Authorized digital payment system. 4. Efficient payment system. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. I, 2, 3, and 4. Under PMJDY, overdraft facility will be allowed in the SB accounts. As running OD facility for 36 months subject to annual review of account. A savings bank deposit account has been opened in the joint names of A and B with the operating instructions of former or survivor. The account can A. Be operated by A and B both B. Be operated by A only till he is alive C. Not be operated by A when B instructs the bank to stop operations in the bank D. Be operated by the legal heirs of A and B jointly if A dies. Be operated by A only till he is alive. How much loan can be availed under Shishu category? ₹50,000. Highest denomination of currency notes issued by RBI is ₹10,000. Who is the present Union Finance Minister of India? Shri Arun Jaitley. What does the term financial literacy refer to? Knowledge of managing personal finances. The primary function of a bank is acceptance of deposits and lending money. The objectives of Open Network for Digital Commerce (ONDC) do not include enlarging market for multinational brands in India. The RBI has directed that KYC, Know Your Customer, norms be simplified for persons with balances below 50,000 rupees and credits in account not exceeding 1 rupee in a year. Which one of the following services is not among the miscellaneous services provided by banks? Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Real estate agency services. Which of the following is a quantitative credit control tool of RBI? All of the above. Which note is issued by Ministry of Finance and not by RBI? ₹1. Which of the following defines a demand draft, DD? A. A payment order issued by the customer to the bank. B. A negotiable instrument issued by bank instructing another branch to pay a sum of money. C. A loan document issued by the bank. D. A check issued by a bank to the customer. A negotiable instrument issued by a bank instructing another branch to pay a sum of money. What is the primary purpose of a recurring deposit account? To encourage regular savings. Business correspondent means an agent who provides banking services. In the case of bulk deposits as defined by RBI from time to time, banks can A. Pay differential interest rates if the deposits have been accepted as per the scheme framed on the basis of Bank Term Deposit Scheme 2006B, pay maximum 2% above the prescribed interest rates for a particular term in normal term deposits. C. Pay differential interest rates if the deposits have been accepted under the Capital Gain Scheme 1988D. Pay differential interest rates as approved by the respective bank's board. Pay differential interest rates as approved by the respective bank's board. For marginal farmers, a Flexi Kisan credit card limit may be sanctioned within 10,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees. Mobile wallet. A. Works on the line of debit card. B. Is a way to carry cash in digital format. C. Can be used on ATM. Also D. Works on the line of credit card. Is a way to carry cash in digital format. What is the loan limit under the Kishore loan as per the Mudra Yojana? Loan limits between 50,000 rupees and up to 5 lakh rupees. Corporate governance includes 1. The structure through which objectives of a company are set and means of attaining the objectives. 2. Monitoring performance of the company. 3. Defines the way authority as well as responsibilities are allocated. 4. Setting pricing policy of products and services to ensure company's growth. One, 2, and 3 only. Current accounts and savings accounts are also known as select the most appropriate option from among the following. Demand deposits. Which of the following persons will not be eligible for being appointed as a Bank Mitra? A. A person retired from Hindustan Unilever B, a person retired from State Bank of India C, a person running a pharmacy shop D, a person retired from Ministry of Commerce. A person retired from Hindustan Unilever. Which government initiative promotes cashless transactions? Digital India Initiative. A is a form of collective investment that pools money from many investors and invests their money in stocks, bonds, short-term money market instruments, and or other securities. Mutual fund. The largest public sector bank in India is State Bank of India. If the business correspondents have inadequate financial and other capacity to fulfill their obligations and or fail to provide remedies in case of serious frauds or errors, it will come under the category of operational risk. All banks have framed their own set of fair practices codes and implemented it from 1st November 2003. Which of the following statements is incorrect in respect of self-help groups, SHG? These are small formal groups. From among the gesture listed below, identify the one which is not an attribute desired to please the irate customer. Smiling in a sarcastic manner. Which of the following is not part of a bank structure of Indian banking? Only foreign banks. What is the primary objective of priority sector lending? To provide credit to underserved sectors. A loan or advance of a bank is defined as doubtful when it has remained in substandard category for a period of at least 12 months. Call deposits. Have neither a fixed maturity nor a fixed rate of interest. What is validity period of check? Three months from date of issue. Fixed deposit can withdrawn before maturity. Where are the frequently asked questions, FAQs, on PMMY loans available for information of the lending institutions public? Mudra website. The bank will not initiate any legal or other recovery measures, including repossession of the security, without giving due notice in writing. True. Timely repayment of loans results. All of above. What does the letter L denote in the term lap as referred every now and then in relation to monetary policy of the RBI? Liquidity. What is the purpose for which mudra related to? Manufacturing, processing, trading, Services. When a banker allows overdraft to his customer, the relationship between customer and him is that of debtor and creditor. Which banking product is specifically designed for farmers? Kisan Credit Card, KCC. Under PMSBY, accidental death claim is available for 2 rupees lakh. What kinds of services are available free in basic savings bank deposit account? All of above. Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana is available to select the most appropriate option from among the following. All individual bank account holders in the age of 18 to 70. Brown Label ATM A are provided for share transactions. B are dedicated to promote agriculture banking transactions. C are used for online purchase. D are owned by service provider. Are owned by service provider. Who can open an account under PMJDY? All of above. The various features of central bank digital currency, wholesale, include I. Meant for financial institutions. 2. For settlement of interbank transfers. 3. For settlement of secondary market transactions in government securities. 4. Reduced transaction costs. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. I, 2, 3, and 4. The objectives of knowing prevention of money laundering provisions by a banker include I. Enabling banks to know and understand the customers and their financial dealings. 2. Ensuring compliance of applicable laws and regulatory guidelines. 3. Taking necessary steps to ensure that the bank staff is adequately trained in the required procedure. 4. Catching hold of black money hoarders and getting them punished. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. I, 2, and 3 only. Banking services under doorstep banking include I. Pickup of cash and instrument against receipt. 2. Delivery of cash against withdraw from bank. 3. Delivery of demand drafts. 4. Submission of life certificate KYC documents. A. I, 2, and 3 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. I, 2, 3 and 4. D. I and 2 only. I, 2, 3 and 4. Which one of the following is the narrowest definition of money? Am I? When shall the assurance on the life of the subscriber under Prime Minister Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana not be terminated restricted? A. On attaining the age of 52 years, age nearer birthday. B. In case a subscriber is covered through more than one account, the total cover will be restricted to 2 lakh rupees. Any extra premium paid will be forfeited. C. Closure of the account in the bank. D. Insufficiency of balance in the account as on the stipulated date. On attaining the age of 52 years, age nearer birthday. Under Atal Pension Yojana, if there is default in depositing the prescribed amount. A. The account will be suspended if there are no deposits continuously for 3 months. B. No pension is payable if there is no deposit continuously for 5 years. C. The penalty, if any charged, would be retained by the bank as its income. D. Penalty of 1 rupee per month per 100 will be levied. Penalty of 1 rupee per month per 100 will be levied. Which one of the following is not an officially valid document OVD for the purpose of KYC? PAN card. PMMY loan is given for which purpose? Income generation purpose. CRR stands for Cash Reserve Ratio. The maximum loan limit permitted for Kisan Credit Card is, select the most appropriate option from among the following. The estimated short-term loan limit for the 5th year plus estimated long-term loan limit. If someone dies, who is paid the money in a bank account with nomination? The nominee named by depositor. Bank demand drafts are valid for A. 12 months, B. 2 months, C. 6 months, D. 3 months. Three months. Which of the following schemes is linked to life insurance? PMJJBY. Principal functions of banks are all of above. What is the death benefit under PMSBY? To lakh rupees. ATM means automated teller machine. Currency notes are issued by RBI. A yield curve is used to show which of the following? The relationship between time to maturity and bond interest rates, yields. What is Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, PMSBY? Accidental insurance cover. SEBI was established in the year 1988. Housing loan is not sanctioned for purchase of a second house. What is meant by Aadhaar seeding? Linking of Aadhaar with bank account. The norms for obtaining photographs from a customer includes which of the following? A. Bank should obtain to set of photographs. B. When photocopies of driving license passport containing photographs are available, then separate photo is not required. C. Banks need not obtain photographs of a Pardanshi women. D. Fresh photographs need not be insisted when an additional account is desired to be opened. Fresh photographs need not be insisted when an additional account is desired to be opened. Coins are issued by Government of India. There are various varieties of cooperative banks in our country. Which one of the following is not one of them? Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Regional Rural Bank. Who issues ID for KYC verification? Government recognized documents, Aadhaar, passport, voter ID, etc. While collecting checks billing for a customer, the bank acts as an agent of the customer. Which of the following is not a function of a bank's business correspondent, BC? Accepting deposits directly into BC's own account instead of bank account. If not satisfied by the decision award, either bank or customer can appeal to the appellate authority viz. Executive Director in charge of the Department of the Reserve Bank administering the scheme within days from the date of receipt of the award given by the Ombudsman. (30) Maximum tenure of fixed deposit is 10 years. The USP of a credit card is cash-less operation. Scheduled bank is a bank. Included in the second schedule to the Reserve Bank of India Act. What is the purpose for which Mudra loan can be availed for carrying on any activity related to? Manufacturing, processing, trading, services. Current account deposits are not entitled to interest, which is true with regard to operative procedures of account aggregators. Account aggregators cannot see the data, they will only take it from one financial institution to another institution based on individual consent direction. Action when debtor has not understood message. Repeat, reiterate, and clarify. Causes for public speaking anxiety, PSA, are lack of experience, feeling different, and being the center of attention. The validity period of the Kisan credit card is maximum 5 years. Loans from money lenders are all of above. What is the primary purpose of a savings account? To encourage savings with interest. The operational area of a local area bank may be A. Maximum of 3 geographically contiguous districts. B. Maximum any 3 districts of the concerned state. C. The districts approved by the concerned state government. D. The whole state in which it has its headquarters. Maximum of 3 geographically contiguous districts. Obligation of a banker to maintain secrecy is applicable to all of these. What are the benefits attached to PMJDY? All of above. While opening savings bank account of a self-help group, SHG, a bank is required to do customer due diligence of A. All the office bearers only. B. All the male members of the group. C. All the office bearers at the time of credit linking of SHGD, all the members of the group. All the office bearers only. Which type of account is ideal for salaried individuals? Savings account. What is a demand draft? A draft payable on demand immediately. Which of the following services can customers access through 99Hush? A. Only fund transfers. B. Fund transfer, balance inquiry, and mini statement. C. Credit card services only. D. Only balance inquiry and mini statement. Fund transfer, balance inquiry, and mini statement. Which of these is the function of RBI? All of the above. The features of structured communications in financial counseling does not include A. Interviewing. B. Counseling. C. Advising. D. Distributing knowledge materials. Distributing knowledge materials. Loan application forms in respect of priority sector advances up to 5 rupees lakh should be comprehensive. False. Sample project profiles for running or setting up of micro-small enterprises is available at Mudra website. Certificate as CEDAR issued by IIBF. True. When was the PMJDY launched in the country? Select the most appropriate option from among the following. (2014). Which of the following statements is true in reference to small finance banks? Small finance banks are required to give finance. Minimum 75% of total loans to priority sector. Periodic updation of KYC is done at least once in from the date of opening last updation in the case of Loris customer. A. 3 years. B. 5 years. C. 8 years. D. 10 years. (10 years). RBI was established in the year 1935. Vehicle loan for commercial vehicle are given. All of the above are not covered under PMJDY life insurance scheme of 30,000 rupees. All of above. What does the term moratorium mean in banking? A period during which loan repayment is not required. MGNREGS stands for Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. How much loan can be availed under Shishu category? ₹50,000. In recurring deposits. All of above. 100 rupee note is signed by RBI Governor. Banks can issue FDRs wherein premature payment is not allowed if the amount of FDR is 15 lakh rupees and more. BPL means below poverty line. A business facilitator will undertake the activities which include 1. Credit counseling, 2. Promotion and nurturing self-help groups, SHGs, joint liability groups, JLGs, 3. Follow-up for recovery, 4. Educating people and advising them on money. One, 2, 3, and 4. ATM means automated teller machine. Financial statements include I. Balance sheet, 2. Profit and loss account, 3. Accounting policies, 4. Notes to the account A. I. 2 and 4 only B. I. 2. 3 only C. I. Only D. I. and 2 only. I. 2. 3 only. From where the PMMY loan can be availed? Public sector banks, private sector banks, foreign banks, cooperative banks, RRBs, NBFCs and MFIs. Money laundering refers to conversion of money which is illegally obtained through legal channels. A substandard account remains in that category for a maximum period of A. 90 days B. 3 years C. 6 months D. 12 months. "12 months. Total benefit under PMSBY for total and irrecoverable loss of both eyes or loss of use of both hands or feet or loss of sight of one eye and loss of use of hand or foot is to lakhs rupees. A loan of rupees 1 lakh has been given under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. It will be categorized under Kishore Scheme. In the case of remittance under National Electronic Fund Transfer (NEFT) scheme, a positive confirmation is sent to the remittance originator confirming the successful credit of funds to the beneficiary's account. A. Within 3 hours of successful transaction, but latest by end of the day under any circumstances. B. Within 4 hours of successful transaction. C. As soon as the beneficiary account is credited and latest by end of the day under any circumstances. D. Within 6 hours of successful transaction. As soon as the beneficiary account is credited and latest by end of the day under any circumstances. Nowadays, banking services are A. Used only by economically lower middle class persons. B. Costly and luxurious. C. Used by rich people only. D. Necessity of life for everyone. Necessity of life for everyone. Which one of the following is an improvement under PMJDY for using mobile banking? Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Customer can avail mobile banking service through a normal phone. Which of the following types of transactions are supported by micro ATMs with BCs? Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Deposit, withdrawal, funds transfer and balance inquiry. When does the banker-customer relationship stand terminated? All of the above. In the process of remittances under Immediate Payment Service, IMPS, across banks, the players are I. Remitter 2. Beneficiary 3. Banks 4. National Financial Switch. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. I. 2. 3. and 4. What is the amount of overdraft facility sanctioned under PMJDY is classified as Mudra loans under PMMY? 5,000 rupees. Banks will grant loans under Mudra scheme. A. After obtaining group guarantee. B. After obtaining mortgage of immovable property if the amount of loans is above 5 lakh rupees. C. Without insisting for collateral security if the loan amount is less than 10 lakh rupees. D. After obtaining third-party guarantee only. Without insisting for collateral security if the loan amount is less than 10 lakh rupees. KYC process is intended to establish identity and of a customer through documentary evidence. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Address. FIUINT is an agency that deals with money laundering, call deposits, have neither a fixed maturity nor a fixed rate of interest. In case of receipt of a request for transfer of borrower's account, either from the borrower or from a bank financial institution which proposes to take over the account, the consent or otherwise objection of the lender, if any, should be conveyed within days from the date of receipt of request. (15) ATM can be used for all of above. Life insurance means insurance of life of Humana. What does soft skills include? Communication, empathy, listening skills, etc. Under PMJDY, it is to be ensured that banking facilities are available to all within a distance of A. 10 km, B. 5 km, C. 8 km, D. 12 km. 5 km. Who cannot open a PPF, Public Provident Fund, account? Non-resident Indian, NRI. Which regulator governs financial markets in India? SEBI. Loans from money lenders are all of above. Exim Bank stands for Export-Import Bank of India. What is the total priority sector target for domestic scheduled commercial banks, excluding regional rural banks and small finance banks, as a percentage of adjusted net bank credit or credit equivalent amount of off-balance sheet exposure, whichever is higher? 40%. Payment of check can be stopped by drawer of check. Which banking service is used for international money transfers? SWIFT. Loans and advances of banks appear in their balance sheets on the side of assets. Business correspondent BC concept has come from Bangladesh. The headquarters of WTO is located at Geneva. Which is prohibited for writing on currency notes? All of above. NABARD was established in the year 1982. Which activity noted hereunder is outside the purview of the business facilitator? Recovery of small loans in the crop loan segment. A bank-led model which allows financial inclusion transaction at micro-ATM through the business correspondent of any bank using the Aadhaar authentication is called Aadhaar-enabled payment system AEPS. Which is the online services of a bank? All of the above. The following are a few of the root causes that prevent banks reaching out to the rural poor. State what is incorrect. Poor deposit base in the rural branches. RBI has classified assets or loans into 3 categories: standard assets, substandard assets, and doubtful assets. False. Wider the range of outcome, wider will be the risk. Bank may stop operation on a customer's deposit account under certain circumstances. Which of the following case is the exception? A. When somebody informs the bank on the basis of newspaper report that the money deposited by the depositor is theft money. B. On receipt of instructions from tax law enforcement authorities. C. On receipt of notice of death of the customer. D. On receipt of court orders. When somebody informs the bank on the basis of newspaper report that the money deposited by the depositor is theft money. Which one of the following is not included in Panchasutra of a good SHG? Regular attendance and discussion on social issues. Under PMJDY, how much accidental insurance cover is provided? 1 lakh rupees. For marginal farmers, a Flexi Kisan credit card limit may be sanctioned within A. 20,000 rupees to 50,000 billion rupees, 10,000 rupees to 50,000 rupees. C. 10,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees D, 20,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees. ₹10,000 to 50,000 rupees. The customer's day should be observed in branches of banks every month as per RBI directives. Which one of the following is incorrect in respect of customer's day? A few customers are specially invited on that day to take their feedback. The lowest rating for an investment grade bond assigned by Moody's is BA. What is the law in force in our country for the orderly development of payment ecosystem, and who is the authority for that purpose? Payment and Settlement Systems Act, Reserve Bank of India. IMF and World Bank are also known as Bretton Woods twins. What is RuPay debit card? All of above. In SMS-based channel for carrying out a transaction, the customer should know I. The short code. 2. The exact syntax of SMS. 3. The mobile number of the bank. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. I, 2, and 3. The decision of Ombudsman can be appealed before Deputy Governor of RBI. If a complaint is not resolved at the branch level within the stipulated period, the complaint shall be referred by the branches to the regional circle office concerned along with their comments replies. The regional circle office should resolve the complaint within of its receipt. "10 days. An account holder comes to you after 15 years with a passbook which shows a credit balance of 15,000 rupees and demands its payment. Going through your records, you find that the said balance has already been transferred to RBI for Credit in Depositor Education and Awareness Fund, DEF. Now, which of the following action will be required to be initiated by the bank? A. Bank will make a claim of the original amount transferred to RBI as no interest is payable on the funds transferred to DEF. B. Bank will ask the account holder to approach the concerned department of RBI directly for taking refund of the amount. C. Once the balance of inoperative account is transferred to RBI for credit in DEF, no claim it's payable. D. Bank can make payment after observing the prescribed procedure and thereafter make a claim of the amount transferred to RBI. Bank can make payment after observing the prescribed procedure and thereafter make a claim of the amount transferred to RBI. There are types of ATMs. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Four. On-site, off-site, work-site and mobile. Which of the following is the correct formula for compound interest? A is equal to P 1 plus Rn and. Under PMSBY, an accidental death claim is available for to rupees lakh. E or S means either or survivor. Consider the following statements regarding Jani Shishu Suraksha Karyakram, JSSK. 1. The scheme entitles all pregnant women delivering in public health institutions to an absolutely free and no expense delivery except C-section. 2. Entitlements include free drugs and consumables etc. for mother as well as sick newborn till 30 days after birth. Which of the above statements are correct? Only 2. A bank will not disclose the affairs of the customer in the which one of the following circumstances? When there is express or implied consent of the customer. An account holder who is not only unable to be physically present in the bank, but is also not even able to put his or her thumb impression on the check withdrawal form due to certain physical incapacity wants to take cash payment. The bank will select the most appropriate option from among the following. Obtain a mark on the check withdrawal form in the presence of 2 independent witnesses, of which one should be bank official. While disclosing information about a customer, a bank should take precautions to I. Give the detailed information about the customer's financial position without hiding any facts which are known to bank. 2. Only facts as are evident from the customer's account to be revealed. 3. Recipient should be advised that the bank is not responsible for the information so given. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Two and 3 only. Which of the following are the main features of microfinance? I. Finance is for short and medium term. 2. Loans given are of small amount. 3. It is targeted at low income group. 4. The credit is secured by assets. I. 2 and 3 only. DRT is a body. Quasi-judicial. The first bank to be established in India was Bank of Hindustan. PAN means permanent account number. Who is liable if BC misuses biometric device? Bank and BC based on agreement. In the case of white label ATMs, A. The dispute resolution is done through the agency which handles ATM switch. B. Cash management is done by the banking system. C. User is required to pay a nominal charge on every hit. D. They are those which are set up, owned and operated by non-banks. They are those which are set up, owned and operated by non-banks. The Depositor Education and Awareness Fund can be utilized by RBI. For the promotion of depositors' interest. The objectives of financial inclusion do not include developing the required educational and health facilities in villages. The features of civil society organizations CSO in the context of financial inclusion include A. State-owned, not-for-profit entities. B. SHGs. NGOs. D. Non-state, not-for-profit voluntary entities formed by people. Non-state, not-for-profit voluntary entities formed by people. PMMY loan is given for which purpose? Income generation purpose. Small finance banks are required to provide at least 50% of loans whose amount per borrower. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Does not exceed 25 lakh rupees. If a check is crossed, it means it must be credited into a bank account. An account opening form based on which a bank account is opened is essentially. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. A requisition. What does the term collateral refer to in banking? An asset pledged as security for a loan. A standing instruction means order given to bank to pay fixed amount at fixed interval from account. Standard assets are not NPAs. True. Pink label ATMs. Are dedicated to promote banking transactions by women. What is retail lending primarily focused on? Loans to individuals. A trial balance is A. List of all general ledger accounts along with its balances as on a particular date. B. Comparative statement of cash receipts and payments. C. Statement of rectified entries. D. Draft balance sheet. List of all general ledger accounts along with its balances as on a particular date. The age for coverage under the scheme of life insurance cover under PMJDY is age group of 18 to 59. A general purpose card is used for A. Office address proof. B. Personal identification. C. Paying for goods and services. D. Home address proof. Paying for goods and services. Maximum amount of check. No limit. The customer's day should be observed in branches of banks every month as per RBI directives. Which one of the following is incorrect in respect of customer's day? A. Any customer can approach the branch manager on that day in regard to their account's operations without prior appointment. B. It observed on 15th of every month. C. The prescribed time of meeting with the branch manager is 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. D. A few customers are specially invited on that day to take their feedback. A few customers are specially invited on that day to take their feedback. BPL means below poverty line. The Depositor Education and Awareness Fund can be utilized by RBI. For the promotion of depositors' interest. Bank charges interest on loans. What is the primary purpose of a check? To transfer money from one account to another. Duties of a DRA. All of the above. ATM is one of the banking channels. Here, the abbreviation ATM refers to Automated Teller Machine. Which government scheme focuses on providing pensions to unorganized workers? Atal Pension Yojana. MSF stands for Marginal Standing Facility, which is true with regard to operative procedures of account aggregators. Account aggregators cannot see the data, they will only take it from one financial institution to another institution based on individual consent direction. The first impression the debtor forms about the DRA is through his grooming. The basic elements of grooming include hygiene and dressing. National Bank has lent 15 lakh rupees to Microtools PVT Limited at an interest rate of inflation rate plus 3%. What is such a type of interest rate known as? Floating. If a foreign student, excepting Pakistani national, wants to open a non-resident ordinary bank account, he/she should submit copy of passport with appropriate visa and immigration endorsement too. A letter of the educational institution offering admission 3. A declaration about the local address within 30 days of opening the account 4. RBI's prior approval. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. I, 2, and 3 only. Green label ATMs. Are dedicated to promote agriculture banking transactions. Which one of the following supportive measures are not expected to be taken by bank staff in respect of their borrowers? Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Arranging for credit facilities from private sources. A is a form of collective investment that pools money from many investors and invests their money in stocks, bonds, short-term money market instruments, and or other securities. Mutual fund. Interest on savings bank deposits is paid. Half yearly. In the case of private sector banks, the private ownership should be A. More than 51% B, minimum 25% C, more than 75% D, minimum 50%. More than 51%. What is the cost of money borrowed from a bank known as? A. Commission B, interest C, premium D, charges. Interest is the logo of Reserve Bank of India. The following are a few of the root causes that prevent banks reaching out to the rural poor. State what is incorrect. Poor deposit base in the rural branches. The objectives of knowing prevention of money laundering provisions by a banker include I. Enabling banks to know and understand the customers and their financial dealings. 2. Ensuring compliance of applicable laws and regulatory guidelines. 3. Taking necessary steps to ensure that the bank staff is adequately trained in the required procedure. 4. Catching hold of black money hoarders and getting them punished. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. I, 2, and 3 only. Relationship between the banker and customer can be of various types depending on the type of transaction. Which one of the following does not result in the banker-customer relationship? Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Remitting money to relatives through the bank. POS machine is a small device installed at almost all business centers to facilitate cashless purchases to their customers. POS stands for Point of Sale. Customer can approach Ombudsman if bank does not reply within days. (30) E or S means either or survivor. Which of the following statement is true for the given sentence that tax affects the bond return? Because only interest income they receive from bond is taxable. Nomination can be done in all of above. Success in recovery depends on compliance with regulatory norms, collection skills, and strategy. A bank will not disclose the affairs of the customer in which one of the following circumstances? A. When the information is called under Law. B. When there is express of implied consent of the customer. C. When any central state gov official directs the bank in writing to do so. D. When a bank is bound to disclose in public interest. When any central state gov official directs the bank in writing to do so. For claiming accident insurance cover linked with the RuPay debit card, all supporting documents must be submitted within from the date of claim intimation. A. 90 days. B. 30 days. C. 60 days. D. 45 days. (60 days). In recurring deposits. All of above. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana (PMJDY) has inbuilt accidental insurance cover of 2 lakh rupees, which is called A. Through United India Insurance Co. on payment of 12 rupees per annum. B. With any debit card issued by a bank. C. With the age of depositor, and he/she should be above 21 years. D. With RuPay card managed by NPCI. With RuPay card managed by NPCI. PMJ is A. Rural Housing Scheme. PAN is issued by Income Tax Department. What is Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana (PMSBY)? Accidental insurance cover. Through his communication, a DRA should not make the debtor anxious, insecure, and threatened. Primary agricultural credit societies. A. Cannot accept deposits as they are not banks. B. Work standalone, but get refinance from District Cooperative Bank. C. Can accept deposits, but still they are not banks. D. Work as a rural bank in its operational area. Can accept deposits, but still they are not banks. NRI means non-resident Indian. Before negotiations reach final stage, the DRA requires a formal approval. Case-by-case approval by principal. There is no guarantee that a bond issuer will make the promised payments is known as which one of the following? Default risk. Floating rate of interest is changed during the tenor of loan as per the in the loan agreement. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Reset clause. What is the primary goal of risk management in banking? To minimize financial losses. What is the meaning of behavioral aspects in BC exam syllabus? Only reading for soft skills like communication, patience, etc. Under PMSBY, partial disability claim is available for 1 rupee lakh. Dress code importance while meeting customer. Very important for effective visit. The accident cover under PMSBY shall terminate on the member attaining the age of. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. "70 years. Which of the following is the correct full form of ECS often used in banking? Electronic Clearing Service. The abrization of financial services in India was triggered by JAM Trinity, which did not comprise A. Jan Dhan Yojana. B. Aadhaar Database. C. Mobile. D. Microfinance institutions. Microfinance institutions. Typically, the willful defaulted category of debtors shows these features. All of the above. The main function of SIDBI is provide finance to small-scale industries. Banks cannot use the services of which one of the following as intermediaries under BFBC model? Village Sarpanch. Which of the following rates is not decided by RBI? Interest rate on savings deposit. Soft skill are nothing but A. Relationship building towards the customer. B. Knowing financial analysis. C. Knowing computer programming. D. Knowing tools and techniques. Relationship building towards the customer. Which one is a non-financial function of BCBF? Financial counseling. Transactions account balances are included in which of the followings? All of these. Before calling customer, agent should both A and B. Aadharis. Both A and B. ATMs established by non-banking entities are called white label ATMs. How many banks were in second phase of nationalization? 6. In bankers' parlance, credit risk in lending refers to default of repayment by a borrower. If a bill of exchange purchased discounted by the bank remains unpaid overdue for a period of more than 90 days, it should be treated as non-performing asset. If the rate of interest changes depending upon the market condition, what type of interest is it? Floating rate of interest. Asterisk 99 hush service of banks can be availed by a customer. A. With USSD solution through any mobile on GSM network. B. With USSD solution through smart mobile phone on GSM network. C. With USSD solution through smart mobile phone having Android system on GSM network. D. With USSD solution through smart mobile phone having iOS on GSM network. With USSD solution through any mobile on GSM network. Transactions in central bank digital currency CBDC can be A. Person to person P2P, only B. Person to merchant P2M, only C. Both person to person P2P and person to merchant P2M, D. Only for 1000 rupees and above. Both person to person P2P and person to merchant P2M. RBI stipulated a charter of customer rights which does not include A. Right to fair treatment. B. Right to meet the top executives personally. C. Right to privacy. D. Right to suitability. Right to meet the top executives personally. CRR stands for Cash Reserve Ratio. What is credit risk? Risk that borrowers may not repay loans. Under which steps of money laundering, the separation of illicit proceeds from their source by creating complex layers of financial transaction, thereby avoiding audit trail and providing anonymity to the source of funds? Layering. Business correspondent BC concept has come from Bangladesh. KYC norms were introduced by RBI in 2004. The concept of ethics may include 1. It is a set of moral standards and values acceptable in a society guide human behavior. 2. It holds people from taking decisions that may be harmful to others of the society. 3. its principal may differ according to the circumstances A. 1 and 3, only B. 2 and 3, only C. 1 and 2, only D. 1 only. One and 3 only. Consider the following statements regarding Ustad. 1. Upgrading the skills in training in traditional arts crafts for development, Ustad, is a 100% central sector scheme. 2. Under the scheme, skill development program will be provided for all important traditional arts crafts being practiced by minority communities for their development and market linkages. Which of the above statements are correct? Both 1 and 2. How is PMJDY different from the earlier financial inclusion plan? PMJDY focuses on coverage of rural as well as urban areas. ATMs is one of the banking channels. Here, the abbreviation ATM refers to automated teller machine. What does the term liquidity refer to in banking? The ease of converting assets into cash. What is the maximum loan amount available under PMMY? Rupees 10 lakhs. Which of the following best describes the relationship between bond prices and yields? Move together inversely. State Bank of India came into existence in 1955 by the conversion of into a state-owned bank. A. Bharat Bank B, Imperial Bank of India C, Hindustan Commercial Bank D, National Indian Bank. Imperial Bank of India. An account holder who is not only unable to be physically present in the bank, but is also not even able to put his or her thumb impression on the check withdrawal form due to certain physical incapacity wants to take cash payment. The bank will obtain a mark on the check withdrawal form in the presence of two independent witnesses, of which one should be bank official, and make payment to the person indicated by him. What happens if an RTGS transaction is unsuccessful due to incorrect details? A. The funds are refunded to the sender immediately. B. The funds are refunded within 2 hours. C. The transaction is kept pending until corrected. D. The funds are forfeited. The funds are refunded within 2 hours. In case of receipt of a request for transfer of borrower's account, either from the borrower or from a bank financial institution which proposes to take over the account, the consent or otherwise i.e. objection of the lender, if any, should be conveyed within days from the date of receipt of request. (15) Remittance under National Electronic Fund Transfer (NEFT) scheme through internet banking can be made. A. From 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. only. B. From 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. only. C. At any time during banking working day. D. At any time and on any day. At any time and on any day. Balance inquiry is a kind of non-financial transaction. A. Standard asset of a bank is defined as an asset which is not a non-performing asset. What is the primary purpose of a recurring deposit account? To encourage regular savings. When there's considerable exposure to one single service provider, it is termed as concentration risk. The term customer has been defined in PMLA 2005. Bailey-Bally relationship is applicable in keeping articles in safe custody with bank. Action when debtor has not understood message. Repeat, reiterate and clarify. Aadhaar is both A and B. A person joining Atal Pension Yojana at the age of 18 years will contribute rupees per month to get pension of 5,000 rupees on attaining 60 years of age. A. 210B, 240C, 300D, 270. 210. Who issue the Mudra card to customer? Banks either directly or in association with MFIs. Engaging business correspondence and doing banking business in villages away from the bank's location shall expose the banks to reputation risk. Land development banks A. Provide short-term credit to agriculturists. B. Function in the long-term cooperative credit structure. C. Provide any type of loan to agriculturists. D. None of the above. Function in the long-term cooperative credit structure. In which option the rule of double entry system has been correctly stated? Debit expenses and credit income. Maintenance of the following books registrars is not compulsory for SHG. Visitors books is the logo of Reserve Bank of India. What is the use of Mudra card and how it can be used? Both of above. Banking Ombudsman deals with customer grievances against banks. Provisioning for standard assets under IRAC norms in the case of loans to commercial real estate residential housing sector, CRERH. The sector should be made by banks at the rate of A. 0.25%, B. 0.40%, C. 0.75%, D. 1%. 0.75%. BCA provides banking service to the targeted people. Due to poor service of BCA, the bank's name and image among the customers is tarnished. This is a risk for the bank. Reputation. In the process of remittances under immediate payment service, IMPS, across banks, the players are I. Remitter, 2. Beneficiary, 3. Banks, 4. National Financial Switch, Select the most appropriate option from among the following. I, 2, 3, and 4. Interest on FDRs is compounded on quarterly basis. Unlawful earrings become clean white, gets laundered. A. By routing it through banking system. B. By sending it to foreign countries through Hawala channels. C. By donating to a charitable trustee. None of the above. By routing it through banking system. Interest on savings bank can be paid. On any interval as per bank's own approved policy. What is the primary benefit of a fixed deposit? Higher interest rates compared to savings accounts. What is digital banking? Banking done via internet, mobile, ATMs, etc. Check truncation system helps. A. In preventing its fraudulent use. B. In improving the efficiency of the check clearing cycle. C. In proper maintenance of check issuance payment records. D. None of the above. In improving the efficiency of the check clearing cycle. Which one of the following statements is incorrect in respect of micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs? A. All bank loans to MSMEs conforming to the laid down guidelines qualify for classification under priority sector lending. B. A subtarget of 10% of ANBC or SEEB, whichever is higher, towards lending to micro enterprises under overall priority sector lending has been prescribed for domestic commercial banks. C. A subtarget of 75% of ANBC or COP, whichever is higher, towards lending to micro-enterprises under overall priority sector lending has been prescribed for domestic commercial banks. D. All MSMEs are required to register online on the Udyam registration portal and obtain Udyam registration certificate. A subtarget of 75% of ANBC or COP, whichever is higher, towards lending to micro-enterprises under overall priority sector lending has been prescribed for domestic commercial banks. What is the primary purpose of a credit card? To provide short-term credit. Payments bank can accept term deposits maximum up to 2 lakh rupees in each case. What should be the age of subscribers under Atal Pension Yojana? 18 to 40 years. Working capital means requirements for the day-to-day transactions. It is not expected that the business correspondent business facilitators will perform the role of A to the people residing in its operational area. Government representative. Which activity noted hereunder is outside the purview of the business facilitator? Recovery of small loans in the crop loan segment. Which financial tool is used for short-term borrowing by businesses? Working capital loans. At what age the insurance cover terminate under PMSBY? 70 years. SBI is A. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Public Sector Bank. What does deposits and other services cover? Savings, current, fixed, recurring deposit and related services. What is the maximum loan amount available under PMMY? ₹10 lakhs. Who is eligible for PMJJBY? Persons between 18 to 50 years of age having a bank account. According to the rule of 72 for reasonable rates of return, the time it takes to the money will be T is equal to 72I%. Doubles. TDS means tax deducted at source. Escalation matrix is used in complaints. It is a tool used by regulated entities to manage the escalation process. A term loan is a non-performing asset (NPA) if interest and/or installment of principal remain overdue for a period of more than days. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. (90) A bank can accept fixed deposit for a maximum period of (10 years). What is the type of charge created on the security in case of home loan? Equitable mortgage of the underlying immovable property. Which one of the following statements is incorrect in respect of stored value card? The card issuer is a service provider. The GDP deflator is calculated as nominal GDP, real GDP. Mudra has been set up by whom? Government of India. One of the important steps in money laundering is placements and layering. Which of the following public sector banks' emblem figures a dog and the words faithful friendly in it? Syndicate Bank. Working capital needs are estimated by any of the above. Aadhaar Enabled Payment System AEPS enables 1. Cash withdrawal, 2. Cash deposit, 3. Aadhaar to Aadhaar funds transfer, 4. Enquiry. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. One, 2, 3, and 4. Lender of the last resort to banks means select the most appropriate option from among the following. Liquidity support by RBI to banks on a temporary basis through repo. Under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, PMJDY, overdraft facility for how much amount would be available after the satisfactory operation of the account for 6 months? 5,000 rupees. Regional rural banks are owned by A. Central government, sponsor bank, and state government. B. Central government only. C. Sponsor bank only. D. Respective governments in the state in which they operate. Central government, sponsor bank, and state government. From among the gesture listed below, identify the one which is not an attribute desired to please the irate customer. Smiling in a sarcastic manner. PAN means permanent account number. A customer's day should be observed at every bank in this connection. Select the correct statement from the following in respect of customer's day. A. Customer Service Committee at the branch has the responsibility of noting down all the complaints. B. It is observed on 15th of every month. C. A customer can meet the managing director of the bank on customer's day with prior appointment. D. The branch manager should be available for customers in his office on that day between 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. The branch manager should be available for customers in his office on that day between 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Which banking service allows customers to transfer funds instantly? IMPS. What is validity period of check? Three months from date of issue. Development financial institutions, DFIs, provide A. Guidance to the banks in its lending operations. B. Credit guarantee to the banks for its lending operations. C. Refinance to banks for its lending operations. D. Technological system support to banks. Refinance to banks for its lending operations. Demand deposits are those which can be withdrawn. On demand. RBI has stipulated a charter of customer rights which does not include A. Right to privacy. B. Right to suitability. C. Right to meet the top executives personally. D. Right to fair treatment. Right to meet the top executives personally. Who can open bank account? All of above. Time affects the value of which of the following? Financial instruments. If principal or interest payment is not overdue between 61 to 90 days, it should be categorized as A. SMA 0B, SMA 1C, SMA 2D, none of the above. SMA 2. The term EMI in a housing or vehicle loan is calculated on the basis of principal and interest of the loan. If a foreign student accepting Pakistani national wants to open a non-resident ordinary bank account, he/she should submit one copy of passport with appropriate visa and immigration endorsement. 2. A letter of the educational institution offering admission. 3. A declaration about the local address within 30 days of opening the account. 4. RBI's prior approval. One, 2, and 3 only. Unsecured exposures, which are identified as substandard assets under NPA norms, will attract a total provision of A. 20%, B. 10%, C. 25%, D. 15%. 25%. PMSBY offers death benefit of 2 lakhs rupees. What does the term CRR refer to in banking? Cash reserve ratio. What is the primary challenge in dealing with various types of customers? Understanding diverse needs. Transactions in central bank digital currency (CBDC) can be both person to person (P2P) and person to merchant (P2M). Loans and advances for a bank are: select the most appropriate option from among the following. Assets. Banking Ombudsman decision is called award. Nowadays, banking services are A. used only by economically lower middle class persons, B. costly and luxurious, C. used by rich people only, D. necessity of life for everyone. Necessity of life for everyone. Cash credit is not A. given for working capital requirements, B. given against stocks hypothecated to the bank, C. given for repayment of another outstanding term loan, D. a short-term loan for business purposes. Given for repayment of another outstanding term loan. Based on your perception on the features of the fixed floating interest rates, which observation carries incorrect statements? Floating interest rate provide protection against volatile conditions. Financial Action Task Force (FATF) is A. formed by the Union Finance Ministry, B. a wing of Enforcement Directorate (ED) who handles money laundering cases, C. formed by RBI to handle money laundering cases, D. an international intergovernmental body. An international intergovernmental body. Retail Direct Gilt Account is open area under Retail Direct Scheme. A. with a commercial bank, B. with Securities Corporation of India, C. with RBI, D. none of the above. With RBI. Causes for public speaking anxiety (PSA) are lack of experience, feeling different, and being the center of attention. Payments banks can park money only in A. bonds of Navratna companies, B. government papers and bank deposits, C. mutual funds, D. listed companies. Government papers and bank deposits. What is the primary objective of Basel norms in banking? To ensure financial stability. Which one of the following statements is correct regarding PMJDY? Select the most appropriate option from among the following. Bank account can be opened outside of a bank branch premises. The various features of central bank digital currency, wholesale, include I. Meant for financial institutions, 2. For settlement of interbank transfers, 3. For settlement of secondary market transactions in government securities, 4. Reduced transaction costs. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. I, 2, 3, and 4. The safest place for keeping money. Bank. What is the total priority sector target for domestic scheduled commercial banks, excluding regional rural banks and small finance banks, as a percentage of adjusted net bank credit or credit equivalent amount of off-balance sheet exposure, whichever is higher? %40. In the case of bulk deposits as defined by RBI from time to time, banks can pay differential interest rates as approved by the respective bank's board. Consumer durable loans are all of the above. Soft skills are nothing but relationship building towards the customer. Bank passbook is all of above. A risk covers investor will. Always prefer an investment with a certain return to one with the same expected return but any amount of uncertainty. The headquarters of WTO is located at Geneva. A stop payment instruction of a check can be issued by the draw. Which type of account is suitable for businesses with high transaction volumes? Current account. Purpose of KYC and anti-money laundering is prevent use of banking channels for money laundering. What is the function of structure of Indian banking in the syllabus? To understand different types of banks and their hierarchy. In deposit accounts, the main relationship between bank and customer is debtor bank, creditor customer. Which of the following expresses 6.5%? 0.0650. Retail loans include home loans, auto loans, personal loans. An account aggregator to a third party. A. Shares unencrypted data. B. Shares physical data as received by C. Shares self-attested data. D. Shares digitally signed and encrypted data. Shares digitally signed and encrypted data. Banks cannot use the services of one of the following as intermediaries under BFBC model. Village Sarpanch. Nomination can be done in All of above. Provisioning for standard assets under IRAC norms in the case of loans to commercial real estate residential housing sector, CRERH. To sector should be made by banks at the rate of. Select the most appropriate option from among the following: A. 0.25% B, 0.40% C, 0.75% D, 1%. 0.75%. Which one of the following is incorrect regarding a handheld device with a contact card? A. It has the capability to work uninterrupted in a completely offline environment. B. It has backward compatibility to support magstripe cards. C. It is a compact and portable device, easy to carry in field and ideal for rural semi-urban scenario. D. It does not have printing facility. It has backward compatibility to support magstripe cards. Atal Pension Yojana, APY, is mainly focused on the workers of A. Unorganized sector. B. Quasi-government companies. C. Central government corporations. D. State government corporations. Unorganized sector. Unsecured exposures, which are identified as substandard assets under NPA norms, will attract a total provision of 25%. What is the role of financial education in banking? To empower individuals with financial knowledge. Which type of account is ideal for salaried individuals? Savings account. The full maximum claim is not payable under Prime Minister Suraksha Bima Yojana by the general insurance company on death of the subscriber on account of A. Suicide. B. Murder. C. Natural calamities. D. Accident. Suicide is the logo of Reserve Bank of India. What is the minimum age to open a savings bank account in India without any guardian? 18 years. What is the type of charge created on the security in case of home loan? Equitable mortgage of the underlying immovable property. Green label ATM. A. Are provided for share transactions. B. Are dedicated to promote agriculture banking transactions. C. Are used for online purchase. D. Are dedicated to promote banking transactions by women. Are dedicated to promote agriculture banking transactions. Before converting a loan account into an NPA, banks are required to identify incipient stress in the account by making A. Bad account category. B. An irregular category. C. The special mention account category. D. A. Look after category. The special mention account category. Which type of account is best suited for daily transactions? Current account. What is validity period of check? 3 months from date of issue. What is the primary purpose of financial inclusion? to provide access to financial services for all. Parties can resolve their differences peacefully through the grievance redressal procedure. When a customer abuses the bank's policy, you should clarify doubts courteously. Identify the appalling attribute which is not considered desirable on the part of Bank BC while dealing with customer's complaint. Pick up argument with the complainant to understand the fact. RBI has prescribed that 1. No branch counter should remain unattended during business hours. 2. Employees should reach the branch at least 15 minutes before the commencement of working hours. 3. All the customers entering the banking hall before the close of business hours should be attended to. A. 1 and 3. Only B. 2. Only C. 1, 2 and 3. D. 1 and 2 only. One, 2 and 3. Which document is mandatory for KYC verification? Passport. Which one of the following statements is true based on your understanding of the do's and don'ts for adherence to the BCAs? Adherence to confidentiality with regard to the customer information is essential for the BCAs. The Depositor Education and Awareness Fund can be utilized by RBI. For the promotion of depositors' interest. For NPA, interest and/or installment of principal remains overdue in respect of a term loan. More than 90 days. There are several benefits of central bank digital currency (CBDC), including I. Less cash circulation. 2. Financial inclusion. 3. Authorized digital payment system. 4. Efficient payment system. Select the most appropriate option from among the following. I, 2, 3, and 4. What is the minimum and maximum age at which people can enroll in PMJJBY? 18 to 50. Wider the range of outcome, wider will be the risk. What is the minimum amount that can be remitted through RTGS? A. 50,000 billion rupees. 1 lakh rupees C. 2 lakh rupees D. No minimum limit. To lakh rupees. Recovery through debt recovery tribunals, DRTs, can be made for the loans outstanding is A. Up to 10 lakhs rupees B. Up to 15 lakhs rupees C. 20 lakh rupees and above D. 50 lakh rupees and above. ₹20 lakh rupees and above. PAN number is required for deposits in excess of 50,000 rupees and above. National Bank has lent 15 lakh rupees to Micro Tools PVT Limited at an interest rate of inflation rate plus 3%. What is such a type of interest rate known as? A. Inflated. B. Differential. C. Floating. D. Variable. Floating. What is the internal complaint redressal in a bank? Complaint handling mechanism within the bank itself. Reserve Bank of India is A. A development bank. B. A separate wing of finance of the central government. C. A public sector bank. D. The central bank of the country. The central bank of the country. The first phase in money laundering is called placement. Which type of account is suitable for businesses with high transaction volumes? Current account. Which of the following is part of PMJDY benefits? Overdraft facility. What kinds of services are available free in basic savings bank deposit account? All of above.